60 Minutes Overtime.
So I got to ask, what is this?
This is the table of elements. This is what the world's made of.
This week on 60 Minutes, we're going to be interviewing Bill Gates.
I'm a geek, but you have way out-geeked me.
Well,
he's fascinating to be around. He's somebody who, is really interested in everything. And so there's really nothing you can't talk to him about that he doesn't know a tremendous amount about.
The first time I ever met you, it was some event. I was sitting next to you, and I realized that you're probably not a small talk person. So the first thing I started talking to you about was guinea worm, because I'm fascinated by guinea worm disease. And I realized that's the way to talk to you. I can just quiz you about all the stuff that really is interesting. And
ask me about guinea worm.
Yes,
I'm off to the
you
races.
were great. I know.
Yeah.
We had a great conversation.
He is very immersed in the here and the now, and very immersed in coming up with solutions. This is a guy who reads thousands of pages of scientific reports, every week. He warned about the potential for a global pandemic years ago.
If anything kills over 10 million people in the next few decades, it's most likely to be a highly infectious virus rather than a war. Not missiles, but microbes.
With several $billion in 2015, what could have been done?
You could have turned on large-scale PCR diagnostics testing very quickly. And so when people were coming out of China, you could have tested them and quarantined the people who tested positive.
Because you would have had the tests already developed?
You could have rolled the tests out so quickly. If you gain a month in terms of having that capacity, it's a completely different epidemic for the country.
There's really no reason that America should be at the bottom of the list in response to this pandemic.
There's every reason we should have been the best. And we were the best at funding vaccine research. And so the world in that one category benefited immensely from the US.
Has the speed of the development of the vaccine surprised you?
Dr. Fauci and I knew that there was a possibility that in 12 months we would have the vaccines. No one had ever made an mRNA vaccine. Now, those vaccines aren't perfect. They're more expensive than we'd like, they're less thermostable, and they're harder to scale up. So in the next 5 to 10 years, for the next pandemic, we'll solve all those problems.
You say the next pandemic, there will be another pandemic.
Absolutely. We don't know when. The risk per year, 2%, 3%.
Why are you so sure there will be another one?
Well, you roll the dice every year. Eventually, the dice don't favor you.
I asked him about the mistrust in science and all, these conspiracy theories that are floating around about him, about the world, about his work with vaccines. And clearly there's frustration there. And I think he's kind of as mystified as anybody about a lot of these conspiracy theories.
You are incredibly rational and believe in science. We are now in an age where there is intense mistrust of science. How does one battle that?
Well, we have to make the truth more interesting than the oversimplistic conspiracy.
How do you do that?
There may be some need to slow down the crazy stuff. So there is a need for innovation to think about how you draw these lines, and particularly when you're getting out, exposing to strangers something that might draw them into a series of falsehoods. And so you're able to actually get rid of some CO2 by sticking it in the cement.
The truth of what Bill Gates is doing on climate change, on coronavirus, on global health initiatives, combating global poverty, it's extraordinary. I mean, he's spent tens of billions of dollars and really devoted himself to coming up with innovative ways to find innovative solutions to the biggest problems that humanity is facing.
I think you're 65. Do you think about legacy?
No, I don't think legacy motivates anyone. I think about, gosh, I've got, hopefully 20 to 30 years where, can we eradicate malaria in this time frame? Can we lay the groundwork for a climate solution in this time frame? And so I feel a little bit of sense of urgency that anything after 30 years, I don't get to be involved in.